Who let the apes out? We know the answer. This hyper-intelligent ape named Specter. We play as Spike, a red, spiky-haired teen with angst. You're basically capturing super smart monkeys through time to save the world and stop the head monkey. Yep, that's about as weird as it gets. Monkeys, time travel, red spiky hair protagonist. You know this game is going to have some bizarre mysteries and secrets to explore. Let's get our gadgets ready, theorize, and get silly with this one. This is the Mysteries of Ape Escape on PlayStation 1. South Park monkeys. Are we going down to South Park? Nope, not quite. But evidently someone must have been fans of South Park on the development team. In the level Dark Ruins, you can actually find 4 individual monkeys with some familiar names. If you hover over them with the L2 lookaroo, we can see their names are Kyle, Stan, Kenny, and Kratman. A simple spelling mistake on that last one, or an intentional change to avoid this sort of connection? You be the judge. It's a cool little Easter egg to find though. I wonder if there are any more connections to South Park. That would be uber cool. Controlling Jake. Jake is Spike's best friend and rival. He was on our side until getting separated when the time machine activates, only to reappear as an ally to Specter. It's clear some sort of mind control situation is going on. Specter, using his telepathic abilities, seemed to be able to take control and influence Jake. Which is why after Jake falls pretty hard, he gets the sense knocked back into him. But then the question is, why couldn't Specter control Spike? Since he and Jake are very similar, it makes sense that Specter would want to not only eliminate the problem, but get him on his side. Well, at one point Specter does try, but apparently Spike's willpower is just too strong. Or maybe there's something about Jake we don't know that makes him susceptible to mind control. He's a rival to Spike, so he seems like he would be on a similar wavelength. It's a mystery why Specter is able to control him and not Spike. Mass-produced helmets. The Peak Point helmet is the helmet created by the professor that increases the intelligence of the wearer. Specter is the monkey who found it and initially put it on. This made him hyper-intelligent and set on a goal of world domination. But to do this, he assembled an army of monkeys and replicated the helmet, though we never really see him do it. We know later in the game he has a factory, but that's only after time travel shenanigans. Before that, he somehow was able to create them at the monkey park. Where did he even get the materials for this? And as a matter of fact, how did he know about the time machine at the professor's lab too? Something isn't adding up. Could someone or something be giving him information, maybe even unintentionally through the helmet? Time station floor. One detail that is super weird and easy to miss raises a lot of questions. The time station or time machine is the latest invention of the professor. We use it to travel through time chasing after the monkeys. It creates this sort of hub area where we can navigate to a training room and minigames and load into levels. But look at the floor. The floor is made to look like Spike. This is freaking weird. Why did the professor do this? Does he have an obsession with Spike? Is this Spike's own personal time station since all of the characters went through time when it activated? Perhaps it takes on a certain look depending on the user. But I don't know, it seems very intentional with all of its bells and whistles that the professor just made it look like Spike here. And that's weird. Time portal. Another thing about time travel in the game is there seems to be these moments of interaction between characters going through the time stream. They're almost floating and frozen in place with this rainbow sherbet spinning in the background. A great example of this is how Jake and Spike interact here. They can talk as normal and everything. It seems as though they're unaffected by whatever's going on. Maybe since they're traveling to the same location in time-space, this isn't actually them just floating there. They're moving, and this is the in-between the time station and levels. It's not instant, and it takes a bit. Time flows on the outside, but in this stream they exist outside of the flow of time, so it's as if they're frozen. But they are in fact traveling through it, or around it, I guess. So yeah, that rainbow sherbet background is time itself. I wonder if they age at a normal pace in the middle of the stream, or if they stay eternally young. Sneaking. I can't be the only one. How on earth is crawling and pretending to be a boulder working on these monkeys? We can sneak right up to them using this technique. Their intelligence is supposed to be boosted, and yet pretending to be a boulder works? We just stop and curl up real quick. And now that I think about it, I've never tried this. Is this what ninjas do? Maybe this works in real life. Perhaps Spike's red hair makes them uncertain of what this is. It's not exactly a normal hair color or style, but you'd think the giant gadget would be a dead giveaway. Maybe people monkeys, the specific kind of monkeys these are, have poor eyesight, which is why some of them even have to wear glasses. Yeah, those are probably prescription. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to. Time passing. We are generally moving from one place and age to the next, but seeing all these different locations and ages makes me wonder, how much time passes when we get there versus the apes? By the time we reach these places, there are tons of ape-related structures and imagery. It makes me think that we're chasing after them, but they got there first, and lots of time passes before we ever show up. It can't be so long that the apes age out, but it's long enough that they have time to build and reshape things to their liking. I like to think a few years go by before we ever show up to capture them. Keep in mind, Specter also has time to create a new version of the helmet, or at least modify it. Perhaps this means that though it's only a few moments for Spike, Specter and his apes have lots of time to plan and implement things they want to do. It's pretty wild. Wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey. The other apes. It feels strange to me that Specter is the only ape to really evolve with the helmet. He put it on and develops a better one and keeps increasing in his abilities. The other apes have helmets based off of the original design. They don't seem to be as smart as him. I mean, most of them just hang out and drop bananas for us to slip on when we get close. It makes me think that Specter didn't want anyone questioning his authority or interfering with his ambition, so he may have purposely dumbed down the apes. They're smarter than their base form, but nowhere near on the same level as Specter, so he could keep a leg up. He should have at least made generals though that maybe were a bit smarter. It seems totally in the realm of possibility. Well, that's all I have for you. This was a quick one, but I hope it got you thinking a little bit more about this bizarre PlayStation title, and maybe makes you want to go back and play it. Be sure to drop a like to help support my content, and subscribe if you haven't to catch my future uploads. Until next time, have a good one. Jiggylookback!